This episode is not sponsored, but we encourage you to help support the small businesses, charities, and organisations that we mention. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Our Circle. I'm Jess.
I'm Rhiannon.
And today we are talking about dreams and kind of a bit more about what they could be interpreted to mean, which I personally find very interesting. I remember the first time actually learning about them was when I did GCSE psychology. That's like the first time I studied psychology. It was at GCSE level.
Oh,
and
wow.
One of our modules was on dreams. So I remember that really roping me in because I was like, oh, that's really interesting. To be honest, I couldn't tell you a lot about what that module actually entails now, but I know that whenever I remember a dream, I find it really fascinating. I'm like, what has happened in my brain to make this happen? And like, so many emotions can come from having dreams. I feel like you could feel guilt. You can just like feel this weird feeling sitting with you all day due to like a dream that you've had like the previous night, not even like remembering what it is about, but just the feeling that you had in the dream. I just find them really fascinating. Like, you might dream about a person but they don't look like that person in the dream. I find that really strange.
Can you see?
Has that ever happened to you?
Okay, interesting. Can you see faces in dreams?
I feel like I can, but
See, I can't.
I feel like I do when I'm in it, but when I'm like actually remembering the dream back, it's more kind of like a story. But I've had dreams where I see a person and they are like a family member or a friend or someone familiar, but they don't actually appear to be like them, but I know that they are that other person. It's really, really bizarre. Anyways, I was looking up a few articles and a few websites to kind of find what the most kind of common dreams were, and I found this sort of quote from a licensed psychotherapist and sex therapist called Eliza Boquin, I want to say her name is. And she was just saying that vivid dreamers, they can actually feel like the dreams are happening to them and experience it throughout their whole body, which I find really, really interesting.
Oh yeah,
like
I've heard that.
Yeah, that it can just take over your whole body and you're getting all these sensations that you would if you were awake.
I think I'm definitely a vivid dreamer.
Yeah, and it can take you a few minutes to up to a few hours until you feel grounded and in the present moment again once you've woken up. So kind of like I was saying before, just that feeling that sits with you the whole day. And I know that sometimes if I've dreamt or if I've slept particularly deeply, I know that I feel very off for like the rest of the day. Yeah, it is rare, but I must be like really tired to be in that state, and then I feel really, really lethargic and odd the rest of the day. And I think that's probably down to whatever dreams have been going on. Also, what I found really interesting was that apparently our brain conjures up to 5 dreams a night even if we don't remember them. And they're just a continuation of our thoughts throughout the day, and it's just like subconscious sort of happenings. So yeah, I found some common dreams that happen to people, and I just thought we could go through them. And I wonder if you'd experienced any of them yourself. Some of these on the list I don't think I've ever had. I might have done, but maybe they're one of those 4 that I don't remember throughout a night.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, let's go.
Teeth falling out. Have you ever had a dream about?
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah. And there's a meaning for this as well, apparently. I don't know if you've got the meaning there.
Yeah, I've got meanings for them, but I thought we could get onto that afterwards.
Okay. So I always remember this one. I've had it quite a few times, but I will always remember this one in particular. And it was because I was on a flight to New Zealand. And if anyone didn't know, traveling from the UK to New Zealand is a fucking long flight. It's a long journey and you get a little bit delirious at times. And I was in a delirious moment. I was coming in and out of sleep, and I was having a dream that I was trying to eat something. And I think at this time, like in real life, I was hungry. I was on the plane probably like, okay, ready for my next meal. And but I was asleep. And in my dream, I was biting into food and my teeth were made of paper and they were falling out. Like they weren't like strong or anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, like where are my teeth? And then when I woke up, I was like trying to like touch my teeth to make sure that they were there. I always remember that. But that's not the only time I've had that dream.
Interesting. I've never had that dream before.
Okay. And that's nice.
I mean, from the interpretation that I've got here, which, okay, I might as well just say it. So it's apparently it's linked to anxiety, and
Are we
being
shocked?
this is why, this is why I'm shocked I've never had it, but concerned about competency, your strength, and your ability to take a bite out of the world. And
Oh,
it's quite common to have that dream during times of change and transition.
like a
So
flight.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense.
it's just weird, really weird
It
how
is.
like something physical in your dream can like interpret, like manifest
It
really,
felt
really
so
weird.
real as well. Like it felt like my teeth. I don't know how else to describe it other than it felt like I had flimsy, weak, paper thin teeth, and it just they fell out, and I was just like,
Yeah. Being chased. Have you ever had a dream about being chased?
probably at least once a week.
Really?
Yep, ever since I was a kid.
Oh my, whoa. Okay. Yeah, this is apparently it's dependent on the person, like the interpretation of the dream is dependent on the person who's chasing you in the dream. So do you
Okay.
know who chases you in the dream?
Maybe in my dream I know who they are. Like when I come out of the dream, no, like they're usually strangers. Um,
Okay. So here it says if it's like a monster or like an unknown kind of being,
mhm.
it's kind of a manifestation of an indiscretion. So like an addiction or debt.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, or and if it's someone you know, it could differ. So it could be like associations about the person that is chasing you is a bit more insightful than the person themselves. So like your association to that person, and yeah, it's all very interpretive on like who is in your dream.
Right, okay. I wonder what that means if I don't know who's chasing me. Or do you reckon it means more like you were saying how you might come out of a dream and not have a lot of memory from it, but it did happen sort of thing. So
Maybe,
maybe there's more meaning there had I remembered what like who the
perhaps,
person was or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Or maybe it's more in that kind of unknown, like not a monster, but like an unknown thing
Mm.
coming to get you. Not saying that you're like an addict or in debt,
Well,
but
no, but I am kind of a form of an addict. Like I have an addict. Like my therapist has said it as well, and other people. I have addiction tendencies. It's why I sort of what's the word? I restrain myself from a lot of things. I'm quite disciplined with stuff because I know I've got that tendency. So I think
yeah.
that makes sense actually that I
Mm,
have that.
interesting.
Mm.
Unable to find the toilet. Have you ever had that dream?
Jess,
I
you just
find this
re
one really interesting.
Jess, the amount of dreams that I have to do with toilets is ridiculous.
Really?
So like always, nearly every dream, there's a toilet. There's some toilet thing. And it's often like, oh my God, I can't even count the amount of toilet dreams I've had because they're weekly for sure, maybe even every other night. And it's often, I
Wow.
think sometimes it's just because I need to go to the toilet. Like, so when I wake up, I'm like, oh, I need to go to the
Okay.
toilet. But often it's going to public restrooms or being in school bathrooms as well, and there's no privacy. All of the doors are open.
Wow.
There's no doors, sorry. It's usually like
Yeah.
little walls, if not like shared. It like basically scenarios that would never exist ever are
Do you
what
know
I'm
what?
experiencing.
That's
And they're
so
always gross.
fascinating.
They're never empty. They're always
Yeah.
like gross, not looked after, not clean. And it's like me hovering and I can't go. And it's not because I don't of like a like how some people get what's it called? Like pee shy and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
not because of that. It's just for some reason my almost like my character in my dream can't go. And I think it's because I'm like this is the wrong toilet or this isn't right or something. It's always really weird.
This is huge, right? Because I didn't write down there were so many different kind of toilet dream interpretations of like different
Okay.
scenarios. So like you said, like ones that are open, ones that are like public toilets.
Yeah, like
But
people can
it's so
always see me.
yeah, it's just that's so interesting. It's basically a symbol of frustrations in your waking life. So you're trying to flush out something negative, but you're finding it hard to face the problems that you have with so many obstacles in the way.
Oh, interesting. Because I was always
Mm.
told it was like you're being vulnerable or something.
Well, yeah, if you're like exposed, I suppose that's part of
Yeah, it's
the
probably a bit of both,
it
isn't
being
it?
public and like not
Mm,
having the walls and that kind of thing. That's probably an exposure vulnerability part to it.
yeah.
But I think the kind of act of not being able to like you're trying to flush out something negative and not being able to means you're trying to confront something and you're not able to in your life.
Interesting. Good grief.
Oh my
Like, I
gosh,
feel like
that's
I'm just
deep.
going to be every dream on this list because I dream a lot. And the thing is, I always remember a lot of my dreams.
You
But
write them down
no, I
or
don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I don't want to have those. No, I don't want to be writing my dreams down.
okay, fair enough. Being naked, do you have dreams about being naked?
Surprisingly, no.
It's just in real life.
Yeah. No, I think maybe like every now and then, like I've had dreams where I'm like half naked, like walking to school, and I'm like, where are my clothes? I guess I'll just have to carry on for some reason.
Not I'll turn back and get them, but
No,
I'll
because
just
for some reason,
carry
yeah,
on.
because for some reason my dream that isn't an option. It's almost like the path behind is gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, okay. And
I,
often people aren't batting an eyelid.
yeah, just like,
um,
oh look, Rhiannon's naked again. Whoops.
yeah, or it's like they haven't even noticed that. So I don't know.
That's interesting. So the interpretation I read about online, it depends on how you feel about being naked in your dream. So if you've got an embarrassed feeling, it means that you're feeling exposed. And
mm.
then if you're fine about it, it means that you want to be seen or admired.
So that's interesting because yeah, I don't tend to feel embarrassed in the dream. I'm just like, oh, I just get on with it. Like, there's nothing else I can
Yeah.
do. Sometimes I'm pretty sure I've had dreams where I'm probably half naked and you might be next to me, but like, can I just take your bag and like hold it in front of me, sort of thing, or things like that. But
Yeah.
there's never really ever something that can fully cover me. So I'm just like, okay,
Right.
well, I'm trying
Here
to
I
cover up,
am.
but here I am.
Another common one is taking a test or like failing exams. Have you ever had that?
Yep. um,
Oh my God.
I often have dreams that I don't know why it's this, but I always have like a recurring dream is that I'm in school but it's as if it's now. So I'm this age, but for some reason I'm at my school. Again, it's not my actual school. It's like a made up. I want to get into this actually about dreams in a minute. So I'm
Mm.
in school and I'm about to take a test, but because it's present day and I haven't been in school for a long time, I'm like, I haven't been taught whatever's this module's
Yeah.
on. I don't know.
Unprepared.
Yeah, I'm completely unprepared. I haven't done any coursework. I know nothing. And it's always either a maths test, a science test, or a French test.
Oh, weird. Why those subjects, I
I have
wonder?
no idea. Well, I know. Okay, let's try and break it down. So I think I had to retake math and science when I was at school, like GCSE or whatever. I passed them all, but I think I had to redo a couple of them. And French, I cheated.
Um, huge revelation. I've never heard this before.
Well, everyone did. So basically, we
Okay.
had this written test, and no one knew what the fuck they were doing. We had this awful teacher. She was like a weird sub person. I remember we like interviewed her as well. It was like they got kids to go around with her and then give feedback to the teachers to see what we thought of them, and we were like, yeah, we don't like her, and that she got hired. I
Oh,
was like, what the hell? Like,
what?
yeah, it was really weird. Anyway, I'm gonna out her too. Chloe and I were sat next to each other with our basically all of our written stuff pre-written underneath our desk
Mm.
and just kept looking down at it to
Oh, to help you through. I
yeah.
understand.
Mm.
Weirdly, I don't think I've had, not that I can remember, I don't think I've had one of these exams. My mum's had a lot recently. She said a lot
Okay.
of dreams about her being back at school,
Mm.
taking a test, and she's like, it's been so many years. This is so bizarre. It's coming up now.
Mm.
And I read that it's linked to work, as school is your first workplace.
Interesting.
And it could be if there's like a challenge, like work related challenge on the horizon. So like for my mum, I was thinking, but perhaps it was like around the time that she might have had like a big order or something that she had to do with her flower business. Like maybe there was something coming up and she was feeling anxious about it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if this is common as well, but if I have dreams that I'm at school, it's often not always people that I was at school with. Like it might be people that I currently work with that are at my school,
Oh,
or
interesting.
like just other random people that aren't from the school that I was at or whatever.
Oh, so that fits in with the whole school being your first
Yeah,
workplace
I
type
guess
thing.
so.
So like
Yeah.
mixing that together. Yeah, we were at school for years as well. So it was like for probably the longest workplace like you would have
I
been
guess
in,
so,
like at
yeah.
the
And
moment.
I think I also it works the same way. Oh, it doubles up when I have dreams about a work placement. there might be people from school that work with me, and I've never worked with them before in my life, probably haven't seen them in 10 years, and they show up
Yeah.
at my work in my dream, mixed with maybe a couple of other people from previous jobs in like a
Yeah.
current job or something. I used to have a
I
recurring
find
dream
it
that I was in so I used to work in Clark's when I was like 16, and there was a stock room. I had a lot of recurring dreams about that stock room after I left. Not good ones. It was just
saucy
like,
ones, no.
no, unfortunately not. I wish. Nah.
I was going to say, like, how I find it really weird when people crop up from school that you may
So
have never
weird.
even really spoken to, and they're like suddenly like one of the main like protagonists in your dream. Like I've had sex dreams of like people I never spoke to in school.
I wonder if that's why, like, because it's like the unknown, so you have no idea what they were like at
Yeah,
first. So
it's like
it's
there's a
like,
mystery about
I
it.
love though that
Like,
your brain was like, okay, we're gonna have sex and we've never spoken.
yeah, okay. Another one is flying. Have you had dreams about you being able to fly?
Yeah, that was a recurring dream as a kid. I used to always think that I could fly down my stairs. And then it was kind of scary when I'd wake up because I was like, I'd have to be like, no, you can't do that. Don't do that.
Oh my God,
um,
really?
yeah,
How did you
yeah.
feel after those dreams? Like, was it positive or
Well, I felt confused
like,
because I'm like, oh, I can't fly.
right, okay.
But
But it wasn't like a sadness, like it wasn't a sad dream. It was like a liberating one.
oh, the dream itself,
Yeah.
it wasn't either. It was just normal. It was like normalized. Like it was just something that I, instead of me walking somewhere, I flew. Like, and it was, have you ever seen
It's like an impatience thing.
have you ever seen oh, what's it called? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
No.
Oh, it was like a really big popular movie in like the early 2000s, I think. And wait, have you seen Shang-Chi?
No, I'd like to though.
It's basically the characters, they walk and all this sort of stuff, but they also have this element to just sort of like levitate themselves to certain places, and they just glide.
Right.
And that's all I'm doing. So it's like, it's almost like I'm falling down the stairs, but I'm not falling, I'm just like gliding myself down. So it's like I'm just sort of hovering down, as opposed to, it's
Yeah.
not me like launching myself off into the air and flying around like Superman. It's literally just me like
Right.
gently, almost like how you imagine being on the moon or something, like in space. You're just sort of
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Sounds quite fun actually.
I'm really
Um,
exposing myself here.
flying represents freedom, endless possibilities, hope, and reflecting strong will. And it's a reminder to yourself to not give up.
It's cute that I had that as a kid.
It is cute. That's why I was asking like what the feeling was behind it, because I feel like it's quite a positive
Normal.
one.
Yeah. Normal is to
Um,
be successful.
this is one that I have quite often, of
Okay.
a dream of falling.
Oh yeah. Do you also have it where you must be actually getting up in your sleep because then you like bounce up?
No.
Oh, okay.
I jolt a lot.
Yeah,
Or like,
like that. Like as in you must have like
oh,
got your body up a tiny bit because like you like bounce yourself awake almost. You're like, huh, and then
my legs go like that. Oh, you can't see 'cause you haven't got video, but it just like completely jolts, and I've been getting it a lot recently. I don't know
what does it
what's going
mean?
on in my head.
Yeah.
Oh, it says feeling out of control, overwhelmed, feeling unsupported or insecure. Ooh, a lot going
Okay.
on. I mean, feeling out of control is quite a common feeling for me, I think.
Mm.
Even when I am in control, I am, yeah.
I think all of these the ones that you've given like the meanings for, they actually make sense, don't they? Like it's not, you know, like when
Mm,
you first say, oh, I keep having a dream about a toilet, you're like, okay, what's wrong with you? Like, but then when you actually break it down, it makes sense.
yeah, it does. And to be fair, like what it also said on the website about the toilet one is that we actually spend a lot of time going to the toilet and buy a toilet. So for it to come into our dream as like an object, it kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. Like
Yeah.
we're exposed to it like all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, crashing a car. Has
No,
that ever been?
no,
No.
actually. But I wonder if that's because I don't drive. So I haven't,
Maybe. Yeah, I haven't had it either, and I don't drive.
and I haven't had dreams
Um,
that I'm in a crash either, actually. Surprisingly, that's a nice one that I haven't had.
yeah,
Or a
it's
nice one to not have
apparently,
had, sorry.
yeah, no, I agree. Ongoing conflict with others and avoiding confrontation in the waking world. So that when you're in your dream and when it happens, the collision happens, it's about contrasting beliefs and lifestyle of somebody close to you. So
That's
like you're
interesting.
clashing on something.
I don't think maybe that's I don't have clashing beliefs with my closest friends, I guess, or I don't
No,
know.
but when I read that, I felt like I could have potentially had a dream, like maybe should have had a dream like that
Oh, okay.
someday.
You're like, why
You
didn't
know
I
what I
get my
mean?
conflict?
I'm
Why
try
didn't I get
I'm
my
trying to I'm trying
question?
to say no, I don't want a dream like that. It sounds
No,
horrible, but
no, I know
you know
what
what
you
I
mean.
mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, unused room. I found this one really bizarre, but apparently it's on one of the most common ones.
Is there any more to it? Like, as in any more about that? Not as in the meaning, like literally like a
No,
room that's
just
just no one's in.
your
Like,
yeah, it's a room that just isn't
is it
used.
empty?
I don't I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a different meaning for one that's furnished and one that's empty. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Okay, go on. Sorry, I'm not going to waste everyone's time. What does it mean?
Feeling abandoned and lonely, and then new rooms. I don't know what it means by new rooms. Does it mean like ones that you've never been to before? I don't know. But
Oh,
it's
maybe.
growing in resilience, exploring, and getting new resources to help coping with old feelings.
Interesting.
So I guess it's quite nice. Maybe we're not feeling abandoned right now,
Yeah.
that we're not dreaming about
Yep.
those. Running late. I feel like that's quite a common one. Have you had that?
I've probably had it, but it's not been a recurring one. And I also don't
Okay.
really care if I'm late. It's not really something that I care about. So
Fair enough. I think this one's also supposed to be sort of work related as well, like trying to, or something in your life you might be reaching for a goal
okay.
and working towards it.
Mm.
Pregnant, being pregnant.
Yeah, I've had this,
Yeah.
which is
How
weird.
have you felt about it?
Well, multiple ways because there's been dreams where it's been pretty cool, and then there's been dreams where it's been absolutely god awful. So,
Mm,
it depends on the dream. But I find it weird that I've dreamt about something that I've never experienced, whereas you have. And I think I asked my mum this before as well. I'm like, is it weird when you have a dream having had or having been pregnant before or having given birth before if you dream about it? So like
yeah.
I don't know since having Mila, have you ever had a dream that you're giving birth or that you're pregnant? And does
I
it feel the
have.
same or does it? I don't. Yeah.
I've mostly had dreams where I'm like towards the end of the pregnancy. So
Mm,
it's like you're almost like realizing you're pregnant and then you're about to give birth, like all in one kind of
yeah.
episode in your dream, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
whoa, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really remember if I don't think it was particularly like negative feelings towards it or particularly positive. It was just kind of happening to me. Again, maybe it's like an out of control thing. um,
Maybe.
but yeah, apparently it's reflective of something growing and developing inside of you. So it doesn't necessarily mean like a baby, but just something growing and happening in your
So,
life.
so do you think if in the dream you're happy about the pregnancy or the birth or whatever, then that's like you feeling positive about, sorry, what did you say
Something
the
up,
meaning? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
something
like
upcoming.
something upcoming, like something growing,
Whereas
something
when you have a dream,
changing.
yeah, whereas when I've had both. I've had dreams where I'm like excited or happy or whatever. I've had dreams where I feel like indifferent, and then I've had dreams where I'm literally beside myself, so upset about
Mm,
about the whatever situation to do with that is. So I wonder if that's reflective of something upcoming that I'm feeling good about or bad about or indifferent to.
mm, interesting. That's a good interpretation. I'll just do a couple more. There's a two
Okay.
here that I'm particularly interested in.
Okay.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Do you dream about snakes?
Yeah.
So that a lot of people say there's kind of like a kind of sexual connotation to dreaming about snakes.
Okay. Well, I
There's
can
like a
assure
phallic
you that.
kind of.
Oh, I can assure you that this was a nightmare. It wasn't anything fun.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
woke
Well,
myself up because I'd kicked in my dream. I was trying to kick it away from me, and I kicked the wall in real life and woke up screaming because I'd kicked my wall
oh my
so
God.
hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay, that's traumatic.
yeah.
Um, there's quite a few interpretations of snakes in dreams. It's again
Okay.
dependent on the context of it. But
Mhm.
one of the things I thought was quite interesting is like rebirth because snakes shed their skin. So it's kind of
Oh,
like
okay.
I don't know, like maybe a new version of you coming or something. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Also constriction and oppression. So obviously
That's
where like
yeah.
snakes are like really tight and can, I guess, suffocate you. Um, there's that side of it. Anxiety about people around you in your life.
That's interesting.
I guess that's why people like call people they can't trust snakes, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And also intimidation by intimacy or a need for it,
Hmm.
which I thought was really interesting. It's kind of this interpretation was more of a snake being in a bedroom,
Oh,
so in a
weird.
bedroom
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
setting. Really weird. I think Freud, the
Sigmund
he's like a
Freud.
famous psychologist. Yeah, he had a whole like he had this whole
He had a
fixation
lot
on
of.
like yeah phallic stuff. So I'm wondering if it's kind of from his interpretation of it.
Okay.
Um, okay, and the last one I wanted to talk about was cheating on a partner.
Yep.
So I feel like I personally I'm happy to talk about it because it's just dreams. I don't really think too deeply into it.
Mm.
But I feel like sometimes I've definitely had like a couple of dreams where I'm actually cheating in the dream. But I think that's a bit different to having a dream where you're being intimate with someone else, but you're not in your dream, you're not with anyone else.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, first of all, when you were in a relationship before, did you have dreams where you were cheating?
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And did you have dreams where you just
Where
having
like,
sex with other people, but
yeah,
you
as in
weren't in a
like it,
relationship in a
yeah.
dream?
Yep. Yep. I think that's
Okay.
really normal.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it is
it's
as well.
so common. I think a lot of people think that it's I've had quite a few conversations with girlfriends, and I think this relates to when you were saying, you know, like how some people it feels so real, and that feeling when you wake up you can't quite switch off from it yet. Like that,
Yeah,
whatever. I've had plenty of conversations with girlfriends where they've had a dream about someone, maybe like an ex-boyfriend and stuff, whilst they're in a new relationship,
yeah.
and it literally doesn't mean anything. In my opinion, it doesn't mean anything. I think, sorry, it doesn't mean that you want your ex or something like that. You know,
No, 100% not.
I think it's almost like your brain remembering that person, maybe
Yeah,
remembering that that might have been a way that you were with them. But for me personally, if I ever have dreams about an ex as well, I'm always trying to escape by the end of it. Sorry,
yeah.
no
I
offense
remember
if
you
you're
telling me.
listening.
Yeah,
Like, but in my head, when I wake up, I'm always like, that's such a like reassuring feeling. Like, yep, that just means that you should have like you were ready to get out of that relationship. Like, it's like a
yeah,
reaffirming thing. And I think
yeah,
cheating dreams don't have to mean you're a cheater, that you're gonna cheat, anything like that. I think
yeah.
it doesn't mean it like that, just the same way as a toilet and all these other things. It doesn't literally mean what you're doing or seeing.
Yeah, I definitely think with all of these dreams that I've been talking about, I think you can take the interpretations with a pinch of salt. I think
Yeah.
it could just literally be surface level. Like you could have been to the zoo the day before and seen a snake, or
Yeah.
like you
Yep.
could have just again, like we're saying, every day you go to the toilet. So that could be a reason why you've got a toilet in the dream. And I guess the same thing with this type of dream about cheating. But the interpretation that was online was that you could feel that your partner is prioritizing something else in their life over you. And so you
Okay.
were
Doing
straying, I guess.
right. Okay.
And then it could also be linked to insecurity or a fear of abandonment. But it could also be related to you keeping a secret in your life.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be like to do with your partner at all or like
Yeah.
anything romantic. It could just be like something, yeah, completely unrelated, but it's just that secrecy element of it.
Mm.
So I found that quite interesting. I really enjoyed looking up kind of what all these things meant, and especially the ones that obviously like I'd experienced before, the dreams that I'd experienced
Mm.
before, because I
Can
think it is, I guess, yeah.
Can I ask you a question about your dreams? Um.
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but for me, so for example, the town that we grew up in my
Mm-hmm.
dream, it doesn't look anything like this place at all. But
Mm-hmm.
in my dream, that's the town we grew up in, and
Yeah.
that we live. The town that we live in is near a park called Bushy Park. In my dream, in my dreamland that I always go back to,
Mm-hmm.
and have done ever since I was a kid. It's a hybrid between of Bushy Park and Richmond Park, and the border has lions.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's terrifying as well. And do you know what's weird? They always stand up when I go to cross that border, and it freaks me out. But my dad has never once been attacked in my dreams. Like when he walks across the border where there are lions, they
Yeah.
don't ever go near him, and that's been a recurring dream since I was really young.
Whoa.
Um,
That's
but
so interesting.
but like I was saying, how in my dream world it reflects my real world. So like the town that we grew up in, it exists in my dream, but it doesn't look anything like it. My house exists in my dream, but it doesn't look anything like my house. My
Mm.
school exists in my dream, but it doesn't look anything like the school did. And all of these things, they all are completely different. It's like I have my own alternate world.
Yeah,
Do you have
really
that, or
interesting.
is it the exact
I
same?
not the same as you in terms of like it being where we live or where we're from,
Mm,
but definitely the same with what I said earlier about people. I know that they're someone, but they look different. It's kind of the same with buildings as well. So I'll definitely have like my
mm.
home. It feels like my home, but it doesn't look anything like my
Yeah,
home.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
But it might still be like a familiar building,
Yeah,
but it isn't actually my home. But yeah, completely. Can I ask a question about that dream that you just said?
yeah.
Your dad, is he the only person who gets across without being hurt?
Well, the thing is, I don't remember anyone being hurt, but it always sticks out to me that Dad, whenever he is walking in front, he's just going full steam ahead, not even caring the fact that lions are around. Whereas I'm crippled with fear that a lion is about to come and get me. And I usually am like in my dream, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And then I wake up like, we didn't like have to do that.
Got away from the lines again.
Yeah, live
Um,
again. Survived another
oh,
night.
that's so interesting. I wonder like if there's something that you think your dad possesses that doesn't hold him back,
Yeah, probably.
that you do, that something in you is holding you back from
Probably.
scary stuff.
I'm sure my therapist can
Interesting.
try and break that down, if not you.
Oh, brilliant. Well, please let us know if there are any recurring dreams that you have because it is so, so interesting. Maybe we can try and interpret it
Oh
because
God.
we are apparently experts. No, but do let us know because it is really interesting. And that leads me on to today's dedication.
Today's dedication is dedicated to a brand that one of my relatives is actually part of creating. The brand is called Yield, and they are a gummy supplement range to help optimize your life. And I thought this tied in quite nicely with this episode to do with dreams and sleep, as one of their products is to help with sleep and recovery and optimizing that. There's also a lot of different health benefits from these gummies, so I thought it fit in quite nicely. They're available to buy online. You can also get them at Selfridges, and you can go to their Instagram, which is Get Yield, and you can check out their website getyield.co.uk. Find all the links in our description for more, and please make sure to like and follow them.
Thank you all for listening. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share, and we look forward to you joining us next time. Bye.
Bye.